Good morning, everyone. Happy Halloween. Cheers. Okay, so I'll try and make this quick. I got some notes. I'll try and make it quick so I don't bore you all to death. That Claire's annoying. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about the challenge I'm going to be doing, which starts tomorrow, November 1st, and runs through to January 31st of next year. Basically, you have to write 100,000 words in 92 days. So it's a little over 1,100 words a day. So my kind of goal for the challenge is to write two full books and potentially finish a novella that I started a while back that I owe my publisher, so I got to get that done. So I'm going to talk about the first book I'm going to do first, which is called Nerve Damage. Essentially, the story is it's a man who's lived with pain pretty much his entire adult life from an injury he had as a kid. Then he has an accident that the upshot is that he can't feel pain anymore, and it becomes this whole descent into madness. Now, the idea for it came actually from my own personal experience on medication for depression and anxiety. First time I was on it, um, I felt great after taking it, but just flatline. No highs, no lows. Creativity went out the window. I didn't do anything except stare at the wall, but I felt happy doing it. So there was no good. I reached a point where I realized you have to have those roller coaster moments. So I'm back on medication again, but this time it's a lower dose and it's much better, and I feel really creative again. So I just thought it was interesting to kind of take that experience, but take it more into physical pain than emotional and mental pain. Um, so what I'm going to do with that one is it will be a serial novel or novella. I don't know how long it's going to be yet. It will be as long as it needs to be to tell the story. I'm going to post that on another site. Eventually, I'll ask Ron if I can share it so that you guys can read it. So I don't want to, obviously you can't self promote in the group. So, um, but I'm going to. The goal is to have December 1st be the first post. By that point, that should be a full month of writing. I could potentially have it done uh, in in the month, but at the very least, I'd like to get halfway through. So I've got a jump start on it, and I can post once a week for as many chapters as it has. Um, Now, another kind of little interesting thing about this is the main character. Um, his name is Nate Givens. I tend to struggle with naming characters because they always sound fake, which, I mean, they are fake people, but the name always sounds fake until you start writing and building out the character, and then they kind of come to life in your head, and then the name makes sense. Now, with this one, it's like I wasn't going to overthink it, but the name Nate came right away. I went, okay, I'll go with Nate. What's his last name going to be? And I'm sitting thinking about it. This, and I went, I give in, and then it just became Nate Givens. Dull, but that's how it kind of came about. Um, the one thing I will say with this is usually by this point where I'm really going to start writing and putting the story together, it's all I can think about is the stories just going over and over in my head. This hasn't happened because I'm doing the challenge. I'm thinking more about the numbers, like how do I have to write? What if I get sick? Do I need to kind of get ahead? All kinds of things. You obsess over the numbers rather than the story, which is never good. But last night when I was thinking about this and what I was going to say and how I was going to put this together, and as I'm doing that, I'm thinking I'm going to start thinking about this story, and the opening line just went boom. For me, opening lines are always really important. I labor over I can go a full day. I'll start writing a story and I'll go a full day trying to get the opening line right in my head. So what I came up with was, and again, this may change. Who knows when I start writing? But the opening line is Mondays were the same as every other day for Nate Givens. They began with pain and went downhill from there. So I think that's going to be the opening line. I'll start tomorrow. I got a couple of things I need to write tomorrow before I start the story. Hopefully by noon, I'll start writing, and I'd like to get a couple of thousand words done. I figure if I can do 2,000 words a day just in total, because the challenge isn't just writing a story; it's just a thousand, 100,000 words. So I write for other sites, so I'll draft within that platform, because you have to write within that platform, or draft within there, which I already do, and then when I do that stuff, then I'll start writing the story. So hopefully by noon tomorrow, and then I can write hopefully 5-6 hours, and go from there. So in the meantime, I'll try and post regular updates. I'm not going to be in the MMC as much. I'm going to try and come in first thing in the morning. I'll get up, I'll make my coffee, kind of catch up on posts I've missed, that type of thing. Post a couple of things, and then I'll be gone, and then probably not back till 7, 8 at night, and I'll play catch up again, and then do that for the whole duration of the challenge. But that said, if I still have to do the admin stuff, so if there's any problems or anything you need to know, or you just want to contact me, go ahead. It might take me a little bit longer to get back to you than usual, but I definitely will. And also, if you've got any questions about the challenge, my writing process, the whole bit, stick them in the comment section. I'll answer them as soon as I can. So, goal is to make this a Friday thing, a Friday video, and I'll kind of update you how the challenge is going, maybe share little bits of the story, and that type of thing. So until then, next week, see you later.